Imagine waking up to the kind of news that sends shockwaves through the baseball world. The kind that reminds you why legends are built in the Bronx, why the pinstripes feel heavier than any other uniform, and why certain players seem carved from a different kind of greatness. Today, Aaron Judge isn't just making headlines. He's rewriting the storyline of modern baseball once again. The Yankees captain has officially secured yet another monumental honor, the 2025 American League Hank Aaron Award. And while awards often come and go, this one feels different. It's a moment soaked in history, power, and the relentless drive of a player who refuses to settle. So let's dive deep into what this win means, how Judge earned it, and why his legacy is pushing into rare territory few athletes ever reach. Judge's season wasn't just impressive, it was the kind of performance that forces even his critics to pause and appreciate the dominance. Picture this: a .331 batting average, a .457 on-base percentage, and an absurd .688 slugging percentage that gave him an OPS of 1.145. Those aren't just good numbers, they're MVP-defining, award-demanding, history-echoing stats that place him at the absolute center of the baseball universe. Add in 53 home runs. Yes, 53. And the story becomes even clearer. He finished just behind Cal Raleigh in the homer race, but with the rest of his offensive explosion, it didn't matter. Even an elbow injury in late July couldn't derail him. Judge didn't just come back. He came back swinging like a man with a point to prove, and the league felt every bit of it. What makes this award even more special is the legacy behind it. The Hank Aaron Award isn't just handed to whoever had a decent season. It was created to honor the offensive greatness of Hank Aaron, one of the purest hitters the game has ever seen. Since 1999, it's gone to players who dominated the sport with unmistakable impact. And now, Aaron Judge has earned it for the third time, adding it to his previous wins in 2022 and 2024. Think about that. 3 Hank Aaron Awards in just a handful of seasons. This isn't luck. This is a player consistently performing at a level that mirrors baseball royalty. And winning it again in 2025 proves that Judge isn't simply repeating success. He's building a legacy destined to echo long after he steps away from the plate. Of course, Judge wasn't the only superstar recognized this year. Over in the National League, Shohei Ohtani grabbed his 3rd straight Hank Aaron Award. When those two names, Judge and Ohtani, appear side by side, it feels like watching two titans shaping an entire era of baseball. But today, the spotlight sits squarely on Judge and what this means for his journey with the Yankees. He's now part of a very exclusive list of New York legends who have captured this award. Derek Jeter, Alex Rodriguez, and now Aaron Judge, standing beside them not as the new kid rising in their shadow, but as the captain carving his own legacy. That's the weight and wonder of Yankee greatness. When you make this list, you're no longer just playing in the league, you're living in history. And Judge knows it. In his reaction to the award, he didn't talk about himself, his numbers, or even the hardware. Instead, he spoke about the pinstripes, the legends who came before him, the way their presence still lingers in every corner of Yankee Stadium, the expectation that comes with representing the Bronx. He said, "You're out there chasing goats," and those words hit differently when they come from someone who's becoming one himself. It shows humility, but also a clear understanding of where he stands and where he's headed. Judge isn't running from greatness. He's sprinting toward it, full speed, with the entire city of New York behind him. The most incredible part of all this, Judge is showing zero signs of slowing down. As he enters his 11th season, most players begin thinking about preservation, longevity, minimizing risk, but Judge seems to be ramping up instead, turning every year into another chapter of dominance. And even though he hasn't yet achieved the ultimate baseball dream, a World Series championship, his trajectory suggests there's still time. Plenty of it. He's healthy, hungry, and surrounded by a Yankees roster that continues building around his leadership and star power. If ever there was a season that felt like a turning point, 2025 might just be it. Let's rewind for a moment to the scene that kicked off the buzz. October 7th, 2025, Yankee Stadium. ALDS Game 3. Judge steps to the plate and crushes a 3-run home run that sends the stadium into a frenzy. It wasn't just any homer, it was classic Judge, the kind that feels like a movie moment. That swing captured everything that defines him: power, timing, presence, and the ability to change a game with a single crack of the bat. When fans look back at the season, that moment will be replayed again and again, not just because of the score, but because it was a defining snapshot of the man who owned 2025. Fans have played a massive role in this award too. The Hank Aaron Award factors in fan voting, along with evaluations by a panel of Hall of Famers. And Yankee fans, they show up every year, every ballot, every moment. But fans don't just vote because they're loyal. They vote because Judge earns it. He's the rare kind of player whose numbers match the mythology surrounding him. Whether you're watching from the stadium seats, your couch, or your phone, there's an electricity every time he steps into the batter's box. He's not just hitting baseballs, he's lifting an entire fan base with him. What makes Judge truly extraordinary, though, goes beyond numbers and awards. It's the intangible presence he carries, the leadership, the calm intensity, the understanding that wearing Yankee pinstripes comes with a responsibility larger than most people can imagine. Judge doesn't shy away from that pressure. He thrives on it. When teammates talk about him, they describe not just a star player, but a captain who elevates everyone around him. You can see it in how rookies respond to him, how veterans respect him, and how the organization leans on him as the defining face of the franchise. As we look ahead, the big question becomes, what's next for Aaron Judge? Winning the Hank Aaron Award for the third time puts him in rarefied air, but he's far from done. The MVP award in 2025, the All-MLB selection, the batting title, these achievements stack into a mountain of proof that Judge is entering the peak phase of his career. And with that peak comes possibility. If he continues at this pace, he isn't just building a Hall of Fame resume. He's constructing a legacy that will sit beside the greatest Yankees to ever play the game. Ruth, DiMaggio, Mantle, Jeter. Could Judge join them? At this rate, it feels less like a question and more like an inevitability. But for all the awards and accolades, there's still that one missing piece: a championship. Judge knows it, the fans know it, the franchise knows it. Winning a World Series isn't just a goal, it's the standard in New York. And Judge's role in reaching that milestone has become more critical than ever. His impact on the field is undeniable, but his leadership off the field may be the key that finally pushes the Yankees over the edge. The team is evolving. Young talent is rising, and Judge remains the anchor. If the stars align, this next chapter could deliver the one achievement his career has been waiting for. So as we celebrate Aaron Judge's 2025 Hank Aaron Award, we're not just applauding another trophy. We're recognizing a moment in time, a chapter in a career that is growing into something extraordinary. Judge represents the heart of New York baseball, a combination of power, poise, and purpose. And as fans, analysts, and lovers of the game, we get to witness this rare journey unfold. Whether you're a die-hard Yankee supporter or simply someone who appreciates the beauty of elite performance, Judge's story is one worth watching. And with more seasons ahead, his chase for greatness is far from over. Stick around, because if history has taught us anything, it's that Aaron Judge is only getting started.